Hello everyone, it is Ewan and Josh today
Hello.
for WhatCulture.com on a lovely summer's Monday. How are you?
Very good, man. It's
Yeah.
football today, so it's excellent.
Yeah,
Not
it is.
on this channel.
It's
though.
every day.
It's true,
Every
for the
day.
next month.
That reminds us you should check out What Culture Football if you get the chance to, because they're a lovely bunch of lads and they're doing loads of content. So go check that channel out if you want to. But today we've got some Wonder Woman 2 news. Now, obviously last week we saw those sneaky little new photos involving the film's new 80s aesthetic. It's
lovely.
set in 1984, and you've got Gal Gadot back as Wonder Woman, Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, and bizarrely, Chris Pine back as Steve Trevor after that whole, death by 1,000 explosions.
Yeah, it's a bit. Why is he back? I'm pleased he's back. Don't get me
Yes.
wrong. Chris Pine, his relationship with Wonder Woman in the original movie was one of the best parts of that film.
Yeah.
But how is he back, Ewan?
Yeah,
Explain this to me. You're like a comic book guy.
I
How
mean,
can this happen?
There have been some rumours going around on Twitter recently. People have speculated that this is potentially Pine playing a descendant of Steve Trevor with an uncanny resemblance to his father. But we've been assured that this is not, in fact, the case, because Twitter user Daniel RPK, who has developed a reputation for leaking things, he's just got his leaky hands everywhere, he's saying that this is, in fact, the real Steve Trevor.
Right.
So, that leaves us with this leaves us with a bit of a predicament here, because obviously, going back to the whole thing is that he had his really heroic sacrifice. She all had a big old cry in the cinema after he, did the thing. How do you think he's back, Josh? Because
A lot of strange things happen in comic book movies, don't they, Ewan? I mean, sure, you are one to know that. I guess cloning. You know what?
Cloning?
Let's go cloning.
Yeah.
Time travel, cloning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go cloning.
Yeah, some people have
Go on.
speculated that the gods themselves
Interesting.
have had a hand in doing this, and obviously the other thing that was interesting with that photo that revealed him, obviously he's got his fanny pack on, he's rocking the 80s tracksuit vibe, and he's next to an ice cream shop.
Oh,
and if
yes.
you remember in the first Wonder Woman film, one of the first kind of genuine interactions they have back in the land of man is the ice cream vendor before they're being shipped out.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of tragic, that, in
yeah,
a way.
I find it really interesting. It's kind of they're doing the whole Captain America thing again, if you think about it, because he's now going to be a man out of time.
Yeah.
And Daniel RPK also states that Pedro Pascal, not Kristen Wiig, is playing the real villain of the movie. Now, we know that Wiig is playing Cheetah, who is a very, very prominent Wonder Woman villain in the comics. We don't know who Pascal is playing, but he did say that he'll be the main villain. And could we be seeing another Ares-type situation where he's playing kind of a civilian identity and then he later gets revealed to be a villain? I don't know. What do you think?
I hope not, in a way, because if they do that again, and they've already sort of started repeating things by bringing back Chris Pine, so if they sort of do the same villain reveal again, that'll be not really interesting to me, but I like the idea of Pedro Pascal being like the secret main villain this whole time. I don't know what this means about Cheetah though, because I don't really know much about Wonder Woman comics as a whole, but I know Cheetah is sort of like a big villain in sort of that space. When that was announced, I wasn't met with sort of excitement, like, oh yes, Kristen Wiig, who was already sort of like a strange choice, is the main villain of this film.
Yeah.
That sort of didn't really ring true to me at the time, but it could be a cool, like, little, like acting turn for her.
Yeah.
Does this sort of take something away from that? I don't know. Is this like a good
potentially,
idea?
I think the whole thing with Cheetah is that she's always involved with the Greek pantheon of gods. So there's always a conspiracy to be had, and there's always different villains that kind of come into play at various stages in a storyline. Now, there have been suggestions that Pascal will be playing either one of two gods, Phobos or Deimos. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. They were involved in the retconned origin of Cheetah, which was a conspiracy that also involved Ares. So if they wanted to tie it back into the first film and kind of have Ares' legacy being felt further on, I think that would actually make a great deal of sense.
That seems like, I guess if they're going to bring back like Chris Pine and you're going to go back to Ares, that sort of makes sense to tie it more directly into the first movie, because after all, there's been a huge time jump and there's a lot of goodwill behind Wonder Woman 1. So they sort of want to carry that through into the sequel. I have a theory. I don't know how far out this is. I don't think either Cheetah or Pedro Pascal's mystery character might be the villain. I think that might actually come down to Steve Trevor. Only because, I don't know whether they're going to do this, but Steve Trevor hasn't really been mentioned outside of, World War II as of yet. And every time Wonder Woman looks at that photo of like her old like platoon, it's looking at Steve Trevor from that time. If he was back, I don't think they'd bring him back just to kill him off again, unless they were going to sort of change the whole timeline and have this movie affect Batman vs Superman and sort of Justice League. I don't know how you sort of bring Steve Trevor back without it sort of being weird to just kill him off
How
once
great
more.
would it be if they just at one point in the film, Booster Gold comes in out of nowhere and says, "I've messed with the time stream, guys," and then everything after Wonder Woman 1984 is no longer continuity.
Well, what do you think? Because I mean, like they're trying to sort of soft reboot this entire universe. Where we've had like reports about Ben Affleck obviously stepping down for Matt Reeves' Batman movie, and he wants to bring in a younger Batman. And they were, I think it was the Flash movie that was going to be Flashpoint, where it was touted that that may change the universe as we know it. What if we get that far sooner in Wonder Woman 2? Because in a way, that sort of soft rebooted it in the first place with like its new tone, its new look, its new style. There's, like I said, there's a lot of goodwill behind that. Maybe they just go into Wonder Woman 2 and be like, right, this is completely different now. Steve Trevor's back. Everything you know is a lie.
I think I'd really like that, because then you could have different period films, I guess. Like have it kind of take what Marvel are doing now with Captain Marvel being set in the 90s. You could do different kind of DC. Oh, how good would the Batman film be set in the 70s?
That'd be lush. That would be really great.
Yeah, make it happen, DC. But yeah, let us know what you think about these rumours in the comments below. Do you think that Pedro Pascal is playing the new villain? And what are your theories on Steve Trevor coming back? Because we're scratching our heads, we really don't know. As always, I've been Ewan.
I've been Josh.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.